Alright. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Krillback is here, and tonight we're discussing monthly challenges April 2026. I play 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and I play free-to-play Epic Relics. You can find my VOD on a VOD channel, or I'll give a link in the description. And this guide will be a TLDR guide oriented towards, on average, 3 stars players, with mostly no Epic Relics, I guess, as usual. If you're new here, why do I do 2 guides every month? So I do one full complete guide where we look up every challenge one by one, and another one like this TLDR guide on second or third date of month that is oriented towards more of a intermediate advanced players that have completed Draven Adventure, Victor Adventure, Speed Blossom Team Adventure, some other adventures too, preferably all the normal campaign before Nightmares. And I'm giving information on whom to level in a way that, well, in monthly challenges you can play every champion up to 3 times, and I give a lot of options for every challenge. Like, I try to think of at least 8, maybe more options for every challenge in the list. It takes me about 8 hours to do 70 challenges. I mean, to think of them. To complete them, it's just 4 hours, 5 hours, as you can see here. It resets at 1 AM and it's done in 4 or 5 hours. So, what I was talking about? This month is a rough one. So this will be a list that we will be using in full guide. We will discuss these special rules, not in this order, but it might be rearranged, but we will be discussing all these special rules in our first part. And also in full guide, this will not be mentioned, but it's just a note to myself. There is no after image, no adoribus, no mercy killings, and just one Source Domination this month. This month was a bit special. And we will be discussing these enemies' decks. We faced like 6 Irelias, 4 or 5 Zeds, I think, this month, 4, 6 Katarinas, about 5 Dravens, other Noxians, 6 Ezreals, 5 Azirs, 4 Kai'Sas, 6 Lulu, about 5 Jinx, 6 Gangplanks, 4 Victors, 2 of them are just deadly. Some Caitlyn's, it's a freebie mostly. Yasuo, Lee Sin 5 times, I think, maybe 2 times, maybe 4 times, and Fiora about 5 times. We will be discussing all these decks in a full guide, but not in a TLDR guide. And I usually do a list of rough challenges, and we discuss all the rough challenges, but this list is a bit more. The tricky challenges, we have way too many of them, so I will not give all the solutions in this video. I want it to be like short, shorter than usual, at least 20 minutes, but I think it will take about half an hour. And I will go through all these harder challenges, trickiest ones, and I'll tell what's wrong about them, okay, what's the tricky part. I'll leave all the info for a full guide that will be released, I think, in a week from now. It should be around like 7th of April, maybe around that time, and preferably before the patch happens. Yeah. And in TLDR guide, I do have recommendations for champions whom to level, whom would I recommend to use 3 out of 3 this month. And usually, oftentimes, some people just do have fragments for champions, but they do not have levels. Let me show you this one. So I'm playing 3 stars on average, and like my total collection in stars is just about 300. And most of the screenshots I'm getting from people in chat, they are almost this much stars too. Like their collection is about 220 at lowest and 270, about that amount of stars, but their level progression is at most 2000. So they do have fragments and stars, but they do not have levels, because, well, you do not have infinite time, and I'm given an idea whom I would recommend to use this month and whom I would recommend to level 2 this way. So let's start with champions, I guess. It's not really a tier list, it's basically it is for me. There are this green and another green, and well, you will understand why it is this way. So some champions like Aurelion, Sol, Jinx are not in the list, because, well, they can complete anything, they are just wildcards. And since full guide that will be released later is more oriented towards beginners, we will do this discussion later, like what is a wildcard, what I consider a wildcard in my collection, to give people a heads up on what's actually really strong and should be used like with a purpose rather than a general champion. Of course, Speed Blossom, Ahri, Swain are extremely strong too, but we're talking about mostly 3 stars right now, and they serve a different purpose. If you skipped, if you were not around during Speed Blossom event last year, then do not worry about Speed Blossom Ahri. She is strong. She is a strong champion at 3 stars. She's a bit average at 2 stars. She is relic dependent, and as most of the Speed Blossom champions, they are just a bit stronger at around 3-star mark, but they cost twice as many fragments. So I recommend to wait for Speed Blossom event to come back, and do not bother if you do not have Speed Blossom champions, unless you have 500 wild fragments just laying around. Why do we have all these spellcasters at top? So we're facing 6 Aurelias, 4 Zeds, and 6 Katarinas this month, which means that we need emergency tools to deal with them. Ideally, it should be a spellcaster that just can clear port. That would be Swain, Mel, Misfortune, and Vex at their best. Swain is really good at 3 stars, and he's just a menace that can complete anything at 4 stars, 240 fragments invested, you go towards Radiant Party and Pyromantic Wake, and he can complete anything. So as I have noticed already, you can find my VOD, link in the description, and I'm using budget builds. I'm using budget build on Swain, and I've completed everything on that build. On my Swain is my only 5-star champion, I think. It was Baron Nashor, it was Speed Blossom Atakan, it was... what else? Grand Heist. Everything just falls. Mel, a really strong champion at 3 stars. She really doesn't need much. She is not really that relic dependent. A King Spirit gives her everything she needs, and a King Spirit is just best free-to-play big relic. If you have that, congrats. You're lucky, probably. You just need a King Spirit and whatever. Guardian Angel, great. Chemtech Duplicator, if you need that to build, to beat Baron Nashor, it's enough. You can use Grand General's Counterplan, you can use Spell Shield, you can use just a Lost Chapter to have some emergency tools and play stuff right away. Great. So she counters a lot of stuff with her rebuttal spell. Next Misfortune. She shines if you have Make It Rain upgrade in Constellation for 2 extra damage. So baseline it is target 3 till 1 damage. And if you have that upgrade for +2 damage, this is 3 targets, 3 damage, which is crazy strong. And I use big guns. You can also use Luden's Tempest. that will be 3 targets 4 damage, which basically counters Phage Z, Irelia, they both have 5-4. You can counter Katarina anytime, and a lot of nasty stuff. Vex, she is really bad at 2 stars, she's kind of mediocre to at 3 stars, and she's really strong at 4 stars when you get the upgrade. You go 4 stars and to the left and bottom, southwest. That's a plus 4 damage item on every new spell in adventure. If you're facing a challenge that has 2 fights, there always will be a shop, and you are just rolling for new spells, and they always will have plus 4 damage. Insane value, and that's a really strong S tier, S plus tier, maybe even champion for challenges. Technically for anything else too, I completed Baron Nashor, and I mean Baron Nashor was just really like, it was like last week to me. Time flies. I still remember that adventure, that run. Annie, Veigar, Twisted Fate, LeBlanc. So Annie is alright. She has Death Hand that deals 6 damage. You can play Annie for 1 mana. You have Lost Chapter, and if you have Death Hand in your hand, you can just clear anything round 1. And you also have Stun for 1 mana, which is really strong. And the meta game for Annie would be the meta build Eking Spirit or Chameleon's Necklace and double Dreadway Chase Gun. So you're creating warning shots for 0 mana. You need 2 Dreadway Chase Guns. This way you have 4 warning shots, and that kind of Bluetooth fight, as we call it, that clears some adventures without playing by their rules. Like against Ezreal, that's nuts. You just... that Targon Ezreal that will stun all your attacking units, you do not care. You're just sacrificing Annie. When you're blocking, you play another Annie, and you ping enemy Nexus to deal 20 damage, 24 damage. Annie would be good into Arms Race, into Ezreal, into Repetition, into Trick of the Light, stuff like that. And, well, Mel, Misfortune, Vex, so we have Empire Above All for Mel. If you are curious what to, like, how to counter by Empire Above All, that's a very special rule, honestly. Mel is really good into extra units. Mel is alright into Power Overwhelming, into Course of Power, and other stuff too. Misfortune can deal with a lot of stuff, so, like, she's a wild card. Veigar. Veigar is good into Katarina, and it's really good to have Veigar in your collection. Leveled up to level 25, preferably. Usually you want your champion to be level 20 and 2 stars. Twisted Fate, he is just a weaker Misfortune at this point. And LeBlanc, of course, she's a S plus tier, but I just decided that I cannot have 6 champions in one line, in the first line, and then 3 champions in the second line. She is really strong, like, she deserves to be over here, or maybe over here, but she's good into Repetition because of her 3 stars. She's good into Trick of the Light. Into... if you have any extra units, even Arms Race, you can buff those units and they will be stronger. She's good even into Only the Strong. She can go infinite if you have just 1 epic relic, or epic item, the Rolly Banner. And she can complete basically anything at that point. You're just... you went infinite because of 1 item that you high rolled in adventure. Warwick, Volibear, Yasuo. So probably everyone has Yasuo. I'm just saying that he is really strong. You need just Tempest Blade. You probably want Spell Shield or Chameleon's Necklace as your level 25 upgrade, and I play with full build. You can also choose to play Chosen by the Stars. And I used 0 Yasuos this month, but I would use him 3 out of 3. He is fine into Ezreal, he is fine into Victor, he is fine into some aggression, into Tempa warriors, into even Kaisa, I would say. So he can find some use. You can find some use of Yasuo this month. Warwick and Volibear. Really strong generalists. Volibear is just the best Freljordian this month. Anivia usually scales better, especially in adventures like Baron Nashor, but this month Volibear is just better. Like, look at this. And also, Volibear's Titanic units were buffed some time ago, since we have now better items for Titanic units. Some people are just missing on that information and have not re-evaluate. You got me. Yeah, Volibear is strong. And you do not need... He's not really relic dependent. Just one Stalker's Blade and Guardian Angel and he's golden. Warwick, he's really good into Forced Workout, into Combat Awareness. You can use full build, Packed Powder or Scorched Stash. You can use big guns for +1 spell damage on your spells. You can use Stalker's Blade. You could use Gale Force to complete, once again, Forced Workout or Harder Adventures. He's best in slot for Mercy Killings. We got 0 of that this month, but just in general, it's nice to have all of these champions. And Morgana Caitlyn, you probably want 2 of those too. Morgana is really strong at 2 stars, at 3 stars. You can solve a lot of issues, a lot of troubles. I used to play Morgana with Jeremy's Feast, +1/+2 and Guardian Angel and Chem Tech Duplicator, I would say, not Grand General's Conquer Plan. That just completed everything in the game. At 4 stars, which is the next upgrade in her constellation, you do not need more, you can run almost any adventure, and sometimes with a bit of luck you will just complete everything and heal up to full every time, every adventure, every fight. Caitlyn, she is good in defense, she is not really relic dependent, she is rather constellation dependent. She has a pretty alright constellation, and she's just good defensively. I use Caitlyn as a Kindred 2.0 into Zed, into Irelia. I play Stalker's Blade and Guardian Angel. I prefer to use Echoing Spirit in my last 3rd slot to give a lot of consistency to that deck, so I can have Caitlyn in my starting hand every time, and sometimes 2 of her Peacemakers to deal 4 damage with it, which is enough to kill Zed or Irelia or Katarina every game. Next. So this is a different, not as saturated green. You do not need all of these champions. I'm just saying that you could use one of these 3 or 2 of these 3 in monthly adventures. Kayle, Ambessa and Porro King. Porro King is great. Defensively, you can sacrifice up to 2 Poros every round pretty much, and you will still outscale enemies. He's not really relic dependent, you could use Frozen Tomb, you could use Spirit of Buru, but even without those, he's still golden. You can complete Lissandra and Viega. I did it on my first try, playing with just Everfrost, Chemtech Duplicator and Lost Chapter, I think. So, yeah. He's really strong. The strategy for Porro King is just usually the same, like you wait, you sacrifice, you're playing Porro King and Porro snacks and you heal back to full. It's almost like playing Nami, but a bit different. So yeah, he's good into a lot of stuff. Extra mana, extra unit, and defensively. Kayle, Ambessa, they are alright into extra mana, they are alright into combat awareness, into... well, Ambessa is alright in combat awareness, rather. They are really good with Black Shield Epic Relic if you have that, so I do consider those things too. Like, some champions just have a free 3rd slot open of their relics, and if you happen to have Black Shield free-to-play Epic Relic, then Aatrox, Kayle, Ambessa can use that and deal with Shadow Isles and Ionian encounters more easily than others. That makes some difference. These two, Kill and Tabessa, are really good into Power of Observation, I would say, sometimes into Price of Progress too. So yeah, and they're just fine in general. Kill is pretty terrible at 2 stars, she's like alright at 3 stars, it's a day and night difference. And if you happen to have Sacred Technique, that's just you're scaling 1 unit on board, 1 unit in hand, you're scaling twice as good now, which is twice as good because of Sacred Technique, right? So Kill is pretty strong if you have resources. Shyvana, Lux, and Luxie. Now, you would want to have at least one of these Demacians in your collection for these monthlies. Shyvana is really good at 3 stars, and if you have the upgrade to the left for shop upgrade, Nomad's Medallion for every dragon, she's just superb for monthly challenges. She's almost as good as Vex. She just needs less fragments, which makes her really good. Like, yeah, she's really good. Really good. And I used Shyvana at least 2 times this month and 3 times in previous month and almost every time since she was released, so highly recommend. She's not really relic dependent. I have videos of no Apex runs into Vega, into Lissandra, into other things, and I have nothing to say. She just needs really little if you have just 140 fragments invested into this champion. Lux and Luxie, one is mage, good into repetition, into some things, and Luxie, she can do one-shots, she's not really that relic dependent. Well, for Lux you need Chemtech Duplicator and that's about it, but of course that can be improved. For Luxie I would say that I am personally using Fear Cleaving Axe, but main idea of Luxie is Mass Challenger Relic, so you can target what you want during your attack. You could also use Level Up Rally, Crown Guard Inheritance, you could also use Mass Overwhelm, Luden's Tempest, and a lot of stuff. And she's fine defensively because you have barrier every round. I'm using Archangel Staff because, well, I'm not killing enemy on my first attack nor on my second attack in like extreme nightmares such as Atakan and Baron Nashor, right? So I'm usually planning to kill enemy on my third attack at about 6 mana, and yeah, I stall a game a bit. I play barriers at least twice to protect myself, and I use that strategy in monthly adventures too. She just doesn't really high roll from shop, and that's a pity. So yeah, one of these 3 is really good to have, preferably Shyvana and Lux. Luxie is alright and strong too. I did enjoy a lot when I used to play her. Well, next, Elise, Eloy, and Jax. They are pretty good into combat awareness, into Empire Above All, into Forest Workout. So the main idea of this, just pick one to play into combat awareness. This is a pretty common special rule lately. And yeah, Elise is just really good. I use Eloy a lot, but Jax is pretty strong too. You can use Mass Challenger Relic, you will attack choosing like Katarina. You can level up during your first attack, during your second attack. Depends on whether you had attack token round 1 or round 2. So you can use Crown Guard Inheritance and kill enemy in 3 attacks on your second round into combat awareness. He is alright. Next line. Once again, pick one of these 3, preferably 2, I guess. Atrox at 4 stars is one of the greatest champions for beginners, since you need just 160 fragments and he can complete a lot. His 4th star Arm to the Teeth is really strong, gives a lot of raw stats, and that just can complete a lot of things in monthly challenges and in nightmares. And most important, he is not really that much relic dependent. I use Frozen Tomb, I use Black Shield, I use Beast Within, just whatever I feel like. You could also use Portal Pulse if you want to. his 3 stars upgrade, the mana discount, works really greatly in my opinion. Like, it gives you an option to play almost anything since it is a mana discount. Great. It's not straightforward, I would say. Oh. Fine, he's alright this month, he's not usual suspect usually. So we have a lot of Irelias, he's okay into that, both Kayn and Garen are good into only the strong. So yeah, pick one of these two. I usually counter Katarina with Garen in easier challenges. I do that almost every month and I do that successfully, like 70 out of 70 without defeats. I'm risking it. I wouldn't say that's even a risk. Next line. Master Yi, Tryndamere and Anivia. You gotta pick one of these three into Price of Progress. Well, that's sadly, this special rule is seen way too often, I would say. Master Yi is boring to play, but he solves the problem. He is good into Vestige of Helia, he is good into Price of Progress, he can be used in other special rules too. You just play Crown Guard Inheritance, he play full build, I would say, and like Sacred Technique or Echoing Spirit, and that's enough. You're just winning on your first or second attack on 3 mana. Tryndamere. So if you happen to have Echoing Spirit, then Tryndamere is alright into Price of Progress even without shop. If you have 2 Fight Challenge and Echoing Spirit on Tryndamere, then he is much better than Anivia. If you do not have Echoing Spirit and if you have just 1 Fight Challenge, then Anivia is definitely better. Either way, both of these Freljordians need to high roll during a fight. Tryndamere can, like, Anivia needs to high roll in a shop, while Tryndamere is almost guaranteed to high roll in a shop, and that's the difference. And of course, Echoing Spirit gives a lot of stability, and that works for Tryndamere. Next line. Viega, Gwen and Thresh. You gotta pick one of these Shadow Isles champions. They are alright into Lingering Shadows, they are good into combat awareness, into other things too, they are scaling. I usually say that Gwen has a bit higher level of... she can high roll to a higher highs, and Viega cannot really get as infinite as Gwen, since Gwen always heals up, has an opportunity to heal up. She can just deal a lot of damage, and she has more ways to high roll during adventures. But Viega is a bit more stable. He has more fluid game style. You're better defensively, you have some draws, you're almost never having a bad hand. And of course both of these champions are just... they depend on their champion. Gwen needs level 30 or 3 rare relics, preferably 4 stars, since it gets frees your another relic slot. Mass Overwhelm Viega is kind of the same, but it's a bit better to navigate his playstyle. So yeah, Gwen probably can high roll a bit higher if you're having a full build for Gwen. But Viega is more stable and more like fun to play, I would say, especially if you have Disciple of Shadows. That makes a lot of difference. Just one Disciple of Shadows makes Viega really fun to play and easy to play. Thresh, I'm a huge fan of Thresh, has always been. He doesn't really scale that well. His scaling is limited to round and round start, to keywords, but that's just enough for monthly challenges, so you cannot really choose the wrong one. But they are actually listed in power level, I would say. all of them are listed in a strict power level. And the last line, pick one. So these champions do not have 6 stars right now, do not have. And I would say that you could use 3 out of 3 either of these champions. Nami is alright into even the Embrace of the Current Victor. I think it's 57 or maybe 60. No, 57 I think. 60 is Demasian Might to Ezreal with Arms Race, and 57 is Undying Rage Noxian Might to Vicious Enemy Victor, if I recall correctly. And Lee Sin is he's alright, like playing Lee Sin once, twice a month, I'm not getting bored of that. And Varus, if you have the Hymn of Valor, yeah, he's alright to play. He can solve some issues this month too. Yeah, that was it about champions. Now let's discuss hardest challenges. Just like real quick, okay? Real quick. I will just tell the trickiest part about the challenges, since I wanted this TLDR guide to be a bit shorter, and we will discuss everything in a full guide that will be released just next week. We will discuss every challenge, like from 1 to 17. Challenge number 9, the trickiest part would be forced workout in Heroics and Irelia. She's blade dancing, and this forced workout will just multiply her attack even during your attack token. So yeah, that's obvious part, and it's really bad to have, like, you're playing usually 3-6-9 challenges, right? And you have on your third fight this bad girl, I would say. Yeah, it's a menace. And of course I chose, like, this month I was trying to complete everything once again in under 4 hours. Last time I failed, it took me about 4 hours and 7 minutes. And this month I didn't complete it yet again, it took me 4 hours 40 minutes. So yeah, I just didn't kid around. I was thinking about Jinx or Swain, and I decided to, nah, really, I'm not gonna... just Swain. Next. This one. A lot of special rules, natural magic. I would say play something mid-range, something that goes wide. And yeah, it just screams like, be cautious. Next, 14. Just only the strong Z. It's the problem is, if you're playing 2 stars champion into this, you can get in trouble, since enemy Z has Dusk and Dawn or stealth units. And even if you think that you can defend against Z, something can still go wrong, but that's about it. Next, 30-31. So this one is hard-fought heist and animated armor, and Irelia and Kai'Sa. And the trickiest part is not the Irelia fight. Irelia is actually nerfed, right? She will be having lower stats on average, but that one guy, the 6 guy, will be benefiting a lot. Kai'Sa, the first fight, that can get a lucky find, get a faster evolve, and formidable as another keyword. And that Kai'Sa is suddenly evolved round 3. And she's really strong in mid-game. She's playing one Poro, another Poro, and next round she's evolved, if she plays just one more unit, if you didn't control the board. 31. Mortal Max, Power Overwhelming, and Double Ionia. So this is the case where I would say that I would prefer to use a Black Shield body. I actually used Misfortune because of Mortal Marks, but still, I do not care about scaling, I just want to have board control in this case. Like Misfortune and Grand Genius Counterplan and Spell Shield and Guardian Angel you do not need spell damage in this case, which is really great if you happen to have just a 2 stars, 3 stars misfortune, right? If you do not have your constellation upgrade for Make It Rain, just you need misfortune on your board, plunder -2 mana cost. Well, misfortune is kind of mediocre at 2 stars, just at 3 stars, okay? You're triggering the plunder, -2 mana cost, you play misfortune, you have Grand Giant's control plan and spell shield, and boom, you're controlling the board. You also might have Chameleon's Necklace if you do not have a King Spirit. You'll be more stable with your draws. Next, 35. This is Unstoppable Force. Lulu is extremely annoying, but well, this one is about Blade in the Darkness Swain. So, if Swain is on board, and due to Vicious Enemy, he can be on board turn 3 on his second attack if he happened to attack first, suddenly you might actually die on his second attack, and you cannot even block it. So be cautious about it. The usual suspects for Unstoppable Force is Azir, Gwen, Elise, Jax, and Crown Guard Inheritance, a rare relic. Just saying. I'm using Gwen if it is a questionable, so I can heal up. 42, and by the way, yeah, in the full guide, I will have all the recommendations in comment section. All the 70 challenges will be listed. There will be short text of what we're playing around, what we're playing against, like in basically 2 or 3 words. Then I've completed this with that champion, and then a list of recommended champions or something that I thought of picking myself. And like one video, one link will have the super short guide, the list of recommendations, and everything will be discussed. All the special rules, how to play, what to pick into special rules, enemy decks, and all the 70 challenges with recommended champions, the win conditions of why I would pick this champion. Yeah, I know that's a lot of work, but my guides are like 2 hours long. They were 4 hours long, but it's now better structured, I would say. 42. This is a Vestige of Healer Katarina, so usually we pick Veigar into Katarina, but this time we need something else. And this is a tricky one, definitely. It is divided by 3, so be careful about that. Jinx is kind of whatever, but Katarina with Vestige of Helia, yeah, that's where we pick Mass Challenger Relic. Next, 46. This is actually subtly really the trickiest one. So this monkey is spawning every round, which means that that special rule, Blatant Darkness, which is not listed over here, it's his special rule, will be triggering every round probably. So this is actually a tricky one. 49, Big Fist, and Z. And by the way, I think this Z has a Phage, so he's 5-4 round 1. He has 3 mana round 1, and he summons Z that is 5-4. This one is Leather Armor Z, is 4-6 I think. And yeah, it's just one more case of Big Fist is being annoying and you cannot really counter that. Like, this is why we might pick Gwen or Viega. We want better defense, we want to heal up. Back in my days I would have picked, I think, Kindred into this one. It would have been a long but interesting fight. Hard fought victory. 50. Price of Progress Irelia. Not really a tricky one, just saying that it is an annoying one. 51. Arms Race, Sovereign's Domination, so this is not after image. It probably doesn't deserve to have... Ah yeah, it's just one exclamation mark, so... it's just an annoying one. Like, we're suffering enemies attacking, and if enemies are taken first, he might play Yasuo round 1, attack, and one Fansmith just dies instantly. So yeah, you have to consider how you're winning. I'm playing Annie. I'm playing Eking Spirit Double Dread with Chase Guns, so everyone like basically can see that I'm not playing by the rules of these special rules. I'm doing my thing, and that is working. Like, no headache. Just it could have been a long fight, but I decided to win as soon as possible. Challenge 53. So Demacia Draven is summoned at round end, and Draven will not be affected by Grandeur Plaza, but Irelia will. And Irelia has recall, which is really annoying. You have to be like ready for that. Irelia is always annoying with Grand Plaza. It can go wrong. 57. This should be Victor with Undying Rage, Embrace the Current, and Noxian Might. Yeah, I'm just saying that if you thought that this is bad, it's really bad, because Undying Rage gives enemy 3 keywords, and Victor's rule is +1/+1 for every keyword. Oh, my mouse? So yeah, like basically I think that Nami can complete this one. You will just heal up, but if you're not prepared, you could just die. Like, if you decided to play Lux into this and you didn't draw Lux, you can just die without being able to do anything. It can happen. Next one is 60 Demacian Might 2, Arms Race. So this Ezreal is doing Static Shock for 1 mana round 1 or 3 damage to targets. Crazy. It's just no comments. It's oppressive as it is. I played Annie once again, so I'm ignoring completely the Demacian Might. I play Annie as soon as possible so I can do the 20 damage pings, and then my Annie is dead. I play another Annie, and I'm like almost killing enemy. That's how we do that. Then 61. This is only the strong. This one is more of annoying than hard, because, well, only the strong into enemies double Ionia that can recall, stun, stop the aggression. It is just I actually genuinely do not want to play this one. Like, I thought Jinx, Speed Blossom Ari, or Swain, because, well, no, screw that. I'm not playing this one. I'm not playing Fire, it's just headache. Then 66, one more time, Undying Rage, Empire Buffalo. This is such an annoying combo. You wouldn't believe it. Like, I actually almost lost to this one once. So enemy's Powder Monkey is not dead round 1. If you kill nothing, it will have +3/+3 because of the special rules. And then Empire Buffalo, so it will be 7 attack monkey. It's in my WOD. Just Victor attacks round 2, 30 damage. I'm like, what? 7 attack monkey? And Victor has 7 attack, and he also has that mimic that is 10/10 for, like, what? Because why? Why does Victor have spell shield? Then monkey has 3 keywords, and that mimic has 10/10 instead. I don't get it. And yeah, you're dead on his second attack if you do nothing. And that is round 4, and he might not have managed your combo by that point. 69 and 70, nice. This is Course of Power Misfortune, and she can play her whole hand by end of round 2. So this is an extreme tempo game. Just saying. And this is Katarina that has Grandeur Plaza, which can be really annoying on its own. Katarina is summoned with +1/+1, so your casual Veigar darkness for 2 damage doesn't work. You need 2 darknesses, or you need big guns for 3 damage in total. And Savage Mysticism means that Katarina can go kind of infinite really early on if you didn't if you do not have resources to kill 3 Katarinas in 3 rounds. That's the worst possible situation I think that we're playing around. And yeah, there is Savage Mysticism right over here. Yeah, so folks, that was a TLDR guide. So once again, we have discussed hardest challenges, trickiest challenges. We have discussed these recommendations. And in a full guide, once again, we will not discuss that list of champions. We will start with basics, like have a level 20 champion, 2 relic slots, what's your next upgrade. Then we will discuss these challenges right above me. We will discuss special rules, all of them. We will discuss, I think, enemies in the first place, right before special rules. And then we will go every challenge one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... and ... 17. Yeah, so have fun playing, have fun strategizing, and stay safe.